All right. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this live stream. Today is 4/20, 2024. So, for those of you who celebrate, happy 4/20. And I see that I have one person tuned in. I'm going to give it just a little bit of time here. I'm going to play a little bit of epidemic sound, just some music, just to like wait for people to come in. But I kind of like doing a cold start. Not that anybody, and speak rather than play an opening video or whatever, because well, I'm gonna get an opening video. I gotta get professional. I gotta I gotta get up to speed like Stephen Cambion from Truth Seekers and a lot of other people who have opening opening credits or opening song. It's time to go to that next level, I think. But I do kind of in case because I realize that a lot of you guys will listen to this not in real time. And so I don't want to make you sit through a bunch of music while I wait for people to come in. So now we got a couple people here. Welcome. Play a little bit of music. I'm going to drink some of my delicious Folgers crystal coffee. Yum, yum. Okay, here we go. Let me get to here. And I've got that one that I always play. I'll be back. Well, you know what? I realized like once I started the song, there were six people, and then when I started the song, they were like, then one of them left, and I'm like, oh, we were ready to go. Then sometimes it's hard to have good timing. Hi dot underscore. It's always good to see you here. You know what? I realize that I never give anybody wrenches, and it probably would be good if I did that. So some of you guys that I see here regularly in the chat, I'm gonna like dot underscore and Pootie Twang and different people. I'm just going to go ahead and give you wrenches when you show up in my chat. At first, I thought the wrench concept was talk about the wrench concept. I thought the wrench concept was that you gave wrenches just to those who were moderating your chat, but now it almost seems like a wrench is an acknowledgement of that you're a regular and you've wrench status. And I realized that maybe if I was like withholding wrenches, that I wasn't actually being gracious to and saying, hey, welcome to my chat, you matter to my chat. And so I just want to say that you guys, when you do show up, you do matter to me. And I want to give also a shout out to Rodney Ward. I did block that account yesterday. I mean, they were kind of acting different than they normally did. And so I'm going to unblock that account, but just to see if maybe I got it wrong. Because sometimes I block people. Here's the deal. This really kind of plays into the topic that I'm going to talk about today. And there is a new surveillance. It's called Shadow Dragon. And honestly, how I found out about it was that I looked at David Schurter's. Oh my goodness, I didn't send myself the article. Um, Give me a second here. Let me grab the article that I
So I had my half
oh
brother. He just
wait,
passed away.
sorry. I didn't mean to play that. Okay, let me grab the article that I have. Oh, here it is. I'm gonna just send it to myself really quick, so that way I can show it on the screen for you to look at. In the meantime, you might notice that I have my ticker going across. If you do want to support my channel, and also more things like this. Yeah, this is where I want to go, is to talk about, show articles, talk about things. If you want to support my channel, it's much appreciated. And I'm just going to leave it at that. Because everybody gets so sensitive about, oh, she's asking for donations. You know what? My channel is monetized, but I do not monetize every video, especially all the videos that are about David or whatever, Denise. None of those are monetized. But like a lot of my shorts that are about topics about not this, and it's something that I feel like is advertiser friendly, I will go ahead and monetize it. And so my intent in this particular stream is not to use any copyrighted, videos, in terms of like music, where, it automatically takes it away, and not have it be about the other types of topics that I don't think is advertiser friendly. And one of the things you got to learn is that when people advertise on YouTube, it's like it's general, and so if you are doing some topics, are they may not be, they're relevant, but they're just a more serious topic that would have some sort of like TVMA or whatever on it, mature audience topics. And sometimes just in that, because it's a necessary thing to talk about, but it's still not advertiser friendly. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and, oh, I liked your getting ready video the other day. Thank you. Thanks. I've been thinking about, and I thought this for a while, is it's called Pro Age Beauty. I was thinking about doing tutorials and different types of videos that are for women that are my age, and makeup and stuff like that. And I have a web domain name for it as well. So it kind of made me feel like I was starting to do that. Yeah, no, most of the things that, I mean, in terms of like this group and this intensity, that all that's not advertiser friendly. However, uh there was a video that I did watch this morning of David's, and it made me interested in this surveillance software. And I made a post about it on X. If you want to follow me on X, I'm at Terry Joyce. And again, my name is spelled TerryJoyce. But what's interesting about this, and I'm just going to go ahead and read it. And while I do that, I'm just going to go ahead and share my banner, because, I am showing somebody else's written work. So, Polk County Sheriff launches internet surveillance. And this is an article, I guess the Axios is part of Des Moines, Iowa. A system that can identify aliases and collect years of personal data from hundreds of online sources is now being used by Polk County Sheriff's Department. Why it matters. Shadow Dragon. And what I find interesting about this is it's called Shadow Dragon, but then we've had a shadow box. I don't know. I just, the correlation of that, the synchronicity of it is there for me anyways. And dragon. Oh, darn it, I said Why it matters. Shadowbox surveillance software is intended to help investigate crimes like human trafficking. But the sweeping collection of data is ripe for government abuse, the American Civil Liberties Union of Iowa tells Axios. So this is controversial. All right. State of play. The Wyoming-based company says its software can, in minutes, map out online identities and associations or correlations among people using publicly available information online, including social media, chat rooms, and dating platforms. The system doesn't access private data, but allows users to perform searches and collect data from platforms like gaming discussion forums. It's made available to vetted law enforcement, public agencies, and corporate organizations that provide protection to their communities, according to Shadows Dragon's site. Zoom in Operation Underground Railroad, a California based anti sex trafficking organization, donated $4,000 to pay for Polk's first year of software expenses. Supervisors approved a service agreement to use the software on March 26. The system is already in use and can help with crimes beyond H trafficking, Captain Ryan Evans told Axios last week. What they're saying is Shadow Dragon's exhausted information sweep raises privacy and the process concerns. Pete Roberts, ACLU of Iowa's policy director, tells Axios. Similar concerns surfaced recently in Iowa's student sports betting probe, where investigators did not obtain warrants before searching the on campus use of betting apps, McRoberts notes. The other side, Shadow Dragon officials declined Axios' request for an interview, directing questions about privacy to online policy site. Well, that's interesting. Polk County Sheriff Kevin Schneider assured supervisors last month that the system is legitimate and collects public information. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Elon Musk is going to make people, they're going to charge people when they first get an X account now. And for your first 3 months, you're going to have to pay for it. And the reason why they're going to do that is because they want to stop people from using bots on X. And so it's, and of course that's causing controversy and everything. So that is that's another aspect of this that I think is interesting. I did make a post on X, and I almost wanted to say, well, does this mean that that Elon Musk doesn't need to charge people to join X anymore to get rid of the phony profiles? And I figured no, I just wanted to keep it pure about the topic and not make a comment on it. Oh, wait, what did I do? Oh, okay. I moved my mouse and then I came out for a second. Pay to play. Yeah, pay to play. I have the blue check mark right now because I want to identify myself as being a real person, a real brand, and legitimate. I felt that in a way it legitimized myself to get the blue check, and I do the $11 a month subscription to it. Now that blue check used to belong to real journalists. Like it was a journalist who got that blue check because it was verifying that they had I guess the legitimate information, the professional information, right? So I've heard of other journalists say once they made it so anybody could buy the blue check, they decided that they didn't want to buy it because it just kind of disgusted them. It's like they already had a blue check, but then that blue check was taken away from them, and then they were asking them to pay it. And I can understand where that would upset me too, right? If I had been a professional journalist, I'd be like, I'm not going to pay for this. But now everybody pays for it. So let me just reiterate something that's in my mind because I want to give kind of closure to this topic. First of all, I think this gives hope. This gives us hope because technology is catching up to this behavior that's been taking place that I feel like I'm a person that suffered against because I've had all these different unidentified people hiding behind a sock account, which is the definition really of LARPing in a way on the internet, is that you are hiding under an identity that's not yours. Now, maybe LARPing in itself isn't good or bad, but when you are doing that in order to cause drama or create conflict or make somebody scared or harass them, then that's when it gets bad, because it's like a criminal wearing a mask on its face. It's an intent to in some way harm somebody, whether and you're hiding your identity, so that person can never be prosecuted really, because nobody knows who they are, and then they can just disappear. And what I find interesting that a lot of these accounts have, and when you can, one of the things that you can spot with a fake account is that it will use one of those stock photos, or you'll have a really sexy girl in the picture, and there'll be like a dash and a sequence of numbers. Uh, Lately, I have been looking at comments in people's chats that are associated to the online harassment that's taking place on YouTube, this pocket, and including myself. I'll get one of those comments where it looks like the person really likes you, but it's just kind of almost like it's a fake account. And wouldn't it be great if this software was able to trace where all these accounts lead to and who's interacting with them? See, I think we're going to get there. I think we are going to get there. And I think there's a need for this. And at some point, we might look back at this and go, okay, this was a part of an era that we went through, but now new software and new laws are being formed. When you realize that the software, it's being used by law enforcement, that means that law enforcement is acknowledging a need for this, that maybe they're starting to catch up, that there's crimes being done in this fashion, and that in order to find somebody, because how many videos are out there on YouTube, and some of the true crime stuff. I'm seeing more and more videos about um, social media influencers committing crimes, to social media influence being, people on YouTube being attacked by people and being unalived. There's a lot of stuff, and if you it's another form of being able to trace the trail of that person. There's a documentary on Netflix right now about how one man was stalking all these different women, and then he would go in and he would find their family and then pretend to be someone in their family saying something else to their family members about this person or whatever. And and then he would DM them with sock puppet accounts and scare them. And they finally found him. This is not in the United States, it's outside of the United States. But one of the things that uh was interesting, and I think that a lot of us that do go through the process initially trying to report it to local police, is they don't have a reference point, or you might get an officer that just doesn't understand, doesn't really get it, so he's going to have like just a biased attitude on, like I had one officer tell me, well, so what, you're a public personality, so you deserve that. Like I deserved it. Like they can't see that there's a line being crossed in the situation, that now this is before, now more stuff has happened, and it's beyond that initial conversation I had with that. It's beyond the level of where this has gone to for me, is beyond that what I was telling them then. Do you see what I'm saying? Like now it's way more serious. Now there is evidence of it coming into real life, and not just staying as some people that don't like you on the internet. So I'm gonna read some of your what your some of you guys are saying. Yeah, Pootie Twang. I'm not gonna say this out loud. It's on the screen. I don't know why I feel nervous about it, but yeah, that's exactly very much what well, I'll say it, Mr. Schoenberger has been engaged in, and in the that Daily Beast article, it's associates him to being involved in this type of activity of sowing targeted chaos online with bots. Absolutely. And I do believe that that is exactly what they're still doing because like on my ex, I'll see stuff being botted. I'll see these accounts even on my ex that have the sexy girl picture and they're liking something when I'm talking about them. So it's unusual. I usually block those accounts, but yeah. Hiding isn't bad. Hiding to enable bad behavior is bad. Exactly, Paul. Right. Right. I mean, obviously we are allowed to create pseudonyms for ourselves. And a lot of people do want their privacy kept while they're online because because of the because of this, because of what we're talking about. And some people are feel more comfortable to say things hiding also, I think, psychologically. It seems like people are more willing to say like whatever to somebody and if they were if we were actually face to face, I seriously doubt they'd say the same things. If you see what I'm saying? Like it gives a person a little more elite license, if you will, to get away with saying stuff. That's for sure. Um, let's see. I'm just looking at some of your stuff. Pootie Twang says, request next time we play the Rump Shaker Reckon Effect. All right, another thing I'd like to, because I'm not, this is going to be like a super long stream or anything like that. I just wanted to bring up that software. I thought it was of note to cover as well. David did do well, he's basically punishing a sheriff's department with it. Like, look what these guys have. Now you need to get on here and search all these different things. And I mean, yeah. I mean, has he had sock accounts talking to him? Has he talked people who are not identifying themselves in this net? Yeah, he has. I will give him that. And but well, I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to make this video about him. So uh I mean, I could say more about it, but I won't. Um, and there's another something else I want to share with you. Oh yeah, I did share the link. I just didn't. Sorry, I'm going through my email and realizing that I did send that link to myself. I thought I sent this. Oh, here it is. Yeah. So a friend of mine died. I found out last night that a friend of mine had passed away. And I was connected to him now primarily through Facebook. And I don't know, last night it just dawned on me. And I've been really busy with school and all this drama and everything, right? And it just dawned on me that I hadn't seen him post anything for a really long time, and he posts regularly, and he interacted with me regularly. And last night His name is Scotty Martin. I know him as Scotty Martin. I'm going to show an article called Scott Martin. Um, he was a victim of a hit and run. They don't know who the perpetrator is, and I'm going to share the article. I want to share the article of what happened. Scott Martin killed in hit and run accident near Culver City. Accident was at Washington Place and East Boulevard, Los Angeles, February 2nd, 2024. The medical examiner's office has identified the pedestrian killed in a hit and run collision Friday night near the border of Los Angeles and Culver City. According to preliminary findings, a vehicle was traveling east on Washington Place around 8:10 p.m. when it struck Scott Martin, who was crossing the street near East Boulevard. The suspect, driving a dark-colored SUV, fled the scene before police arrived. Tragically, Martin, 56, died from injuries sustained in the crash. Anyone with additional information about the case is urged to contact LAPD West Traffic Division Detectives 213-473-0234. The incident remains under investigation. Crash investigation needed. Failure to remain on the collision site can attract criminal charges, and the victim can also pursue a case against the driver. According to the California Office of Traffic Safety, COTS, in 2018, around 893 pedestrians were killed on California roadways, a 26% increase from 2014 and 2020. 16.8% of all crash fatalities in the United States were pedestrian deaths, according to the federal data. Having the proper resources is extremely important to investigate a pedestrian accident case and prove negligence, said Candace Bond, an experienced hit and run accident attorney and a managing partner of Bond Legal. And it goes on about there's possibly a wrongful death claim. And afterwards, I will make sure. And it says the staff of Legal Advocate would like to extend our thoughts and prayers to Scott Martin and family. And I want to tell you a little bit about him for a second, if that's okay. I'm going to go to my Facebook page, and I would like to share his Facebook page. Scotty Martin was an actor, and I met him, and a photographer. He did a lot of people's hold on. He did a lot of people's headshots. You know what a headshot is, right? It's that picture. It used to be black and white, and then it went to color. Now I don't know, maybe just cell phones have replaced the need for this in some ways, in terms of they might be using people's social media a lot. No, that's not what I want. Hold on. Cancel. Shit. I did something weird there. Okay, here it is. So I met Scotty through my ex-husband, actually. I was married to a comedian, and he was in the business, had been in the business maybe like 12 years before I started. So he's older than me. My ex-husband is, he's 9 years older than me. And Scotty was a friend of his, and he would always come over to our house. We lived in a condo in Monrovia, and he was a really young man at that time. Kind of had, the mullet haircut was was popular. And he's sort of small of stature. I mean, I would say maybe he's 5'6" or so. He was really good friends with the actress Dee Wallace and has several photos with her, from E.T., the mom in E.T. And when she taught, Dee Wallace she was an acting coach, and so he went to a lot of her acting classes. He did lots of commercials and made quite good money from it. Later on, after I see, there's somebody that wrote this. Scott Martin was my friend. It's Brenda Barrett Arnold. We met in junior high school and became closer friends in high school and recently connected through social media. We would reminisce about all times at Azusa High. I was bullied and picked on almost every day, and I'd hide out at lunchtime in the reading lab. Hold on. Okay, maybe I can't read that. Maybe I should be finished. Oftentimes, Scotty would join me to keep me company. He always made me laugh. He was kind and gentle, funny and sincere. About a year ago, Scotty confessed that he had always had a crush on me in high school. I asked him why he never asked me out. He said, because you were too beautiful and I was afraid you'd say no. We'll meet again one day, my friend, and you owe me a date. Anyway, so let me tell you a little bit more about him before I go. Uh, he had just bought a dog. He had a stroke, like maybe in 2016, and it was a lot worse than I thought it was. But let me say my relationship to him. We became friends. I think he had a crush on me too, to be honest with you. I know he did. Even up to the last times we communicate, he'd love to do, he'd call it whip them out Wednesdays. And he would show a photo. You see the back, but you knew she was opening her top and flat, letting the sun shine on her tatas, right? And I used to live in Altadena, California, and there, and I lived in this mansion, believe it or not, where it was all the rooms were rented out, and the mansion used to belong to Groucho Marx, the Groucho Marx. Okay. That was allegedly okay. And down the street, where there's this bar called the Rancho Bar and Grill, and I went there regularly because it was down the street, and they had karaoke, and he would be there. He would do karaoke, and he would always come. He would be there at the bar. I didn't think I was going to get emotional, but I guess I haven't really allowed myself to cry about it. Really, he would be at the bar, and he would always be smiling at me and everything. Such a big smile, and we did talk and go out, and but here's what's really interesting that I want to share that you might find interesting overall in this is that his mom was an actress, and he wrote a screenplay that I haven't read yet. He sent it to me. He says, "Well, if you want to do something with it, then maybe you might want to. Here it is. Just I would love to get your feedback." And I never read it in time to give him his feedback, and I feel bad about that. But it was a play, and it's about underground tunnels in Hollywood where the actresses would go from one location to the other to do whatever goes between actresses and producers. And his mom was aware of it because she had gone through those tunnels, and he wrote a play and a screenplay about it. So I'm going to read it. And it kind of, I thought that was really interesting, since there's been so much talk about tunnels like in the Laurel Canyon that, ran between the Houdini house and, allegedly there's Warren Beatty mentioned in it. If I can remember, I read right in the Weird Scenes Inside the Canyon. So he just got a dog. He was pretty much never the same after his stroke. He walked with a cane. He always had kind of like a cool cane. And I think he was assistant by, government assistance and stuff like that. Probably maybe Section 8, but he had a really wonderful apartment, he said, and he loved to watch movies. One thing I really liked about, and that was so wonderful about Scotty, was that he took the public transportation, because now we have the metro in LA and everything. And he would go to all the landmarks. See, that's him younger. He would go to all the like Cantors and all these, the Derby, like all these places. That's him when he was young. Sad. You just don't know what's going to happen to somebody. We just don't know how much time we have, you know? Like, even on social media, it's like, oh my God, they're gone. You know, see, I didn't even know there was a funeral. He liked to smoke cigars. See, that's a new dog that he got. I wonder what happened to the dog. He just had like a joy, like a zest for life. Whenever you see that in somebody, it's a gift. That's when he was a little boy. And he always liked this actress. He would say, "Yowza." He did a lot of postings about celebrities, and he was very nostalgic about Hollywood. Oops. These are just some of his posts. See, and he always did like RIP other people, actors. See the nostalgia. Yeah. I don't know, those of you who've lived through this era, you would know. Mark and Brian, I don't know if you guys know Mark and Brian in the morning in LA. Well, they're syndicated too. Oh. You would just say, "Oh, Heather Locklear." Best scene ever! Oh, I swear to God, Monty Python's Holy Grail changed my life, really, in a weird way. Blue. I was 12 when I saw this movie. And my mom was so offended. She's the only movie we ever walked out on. She goes, "This is disgusting." And then I thought it was like hilarious. Never forgot it. It's only a flesh wound. Anyway, rest in peace, Scotty Martin. I love you. You will be missed. So anyway, thank you for letting me share that with you today. Here on YouTube. Oh, you can't see him? All that and you couldn't see him. Oh my God. Here, let me go back. Sorry. Damn it. Oh my God. Okay, so let me show him. Oh, look at now I'm scrolling up. Okay, I'll tell you what. Um Maybe I will find some music. And here, let me get this faster. Okay. Okay, this is him. All right. You know what? I'll play some music and then just show um first of all let me look at your comments and then I'll play music and then I'll just do a stream on of showing him. Holy crap, it's stupid though, right? Okay, yeah, the tunnels, right? I know that's what got me and honestly let's talk about this. I wonder about some tunnels. I've heard about other tunnels, and they allegedly existed back when there were wars with tribes so people could hide and go between neighbors without being on the surface. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, the tunnel thing I found out much later. Because like when I met Scotty in probably like early 90s, 1990, 92, 91, somewhere in there. So, um, I've known him for many years, and then I didn't find out about his mom being an actress in the tunnels until, probably around 2016. I remember he told me about it I remember we were at dinner or something, or we having a drink, something. We're sitting down at the table, and he told me about it. Whenever I think of Monty Python, I think of Larch. Oh, no, I didn't mean to make you cry. Oh, thank you, big hug. It's funny, you know how, like, I know we grieve in weird ways because I noticed last night it wasn't until last night that I noticed he was gone. I accidentally popped out of my own stream. Oh. Oh my god. Yeah, now there's no sound. That's because I popped out of my own stream. I'm actually just kind of sitting with my legs crossed on my bed. So I'm kind of still in my pajamas. All right, so let me play some music out. Oh, okay. And I'm gonna play it from a different device because I don't think I can share it and then share the screen of him at the same time, which is let me go to my epidemic sound and find a good song. Let me see. You know what? I think like I'm gonna look for something inspirational and I'm just gonna type in inspirational and then I'm just gonna play whatever comes up. And that's gonna be it. So it's gonna be one of those kind of like I don't let me see. Saved, discover, inspirational. So if you need to have music and you want it to be rights free, I really highly recommend Epidemic Sound. All right, I what do you guys think? Okay. I typed in what title. I'm gonna give you guys an option to decide what title to play in the background of his Facebook page while we say goodbye. Titles are Global Impact, Urban Chase, Celestial Forces, Tears and Rain. What do you think? What do you think, guys? I'll wait for a minute. Urban Chase? I know, right? So Urban Chase is out. We're not going to do Urban Chase. This sounds like a piece for OJ's funeral. Oh my god, that's funny. Celestial Forces. Okay, that's what I was thinking. All right, so we're going to play Celestial Forces. All right. Here we go.